The OnePlus Watch 2 looks great, feels premium and is relatively affordable, but can it challenge established smartwatch brands like Garmin, Fitbit and Apple that have been in the health and fitness business for a long time? Let's see if getting the OnePlus Watch 2 is the right decision for you. Now in this video I will test the fitness and health tracking of the OnePlus Watch 2 in a systematic and scientific manner, and as objectively as possible rank it against many of the other watches out there. And as always, I want to start off with the heart rate tracking performance, for which here you can see the result. These are the results for cycling indoors, one of the easiest exercises for a watch to track. To test the performance, I'll compare the heart rate measurements against the Polar H10 ECG chest strap, which can generally record my heart rate very accurately. Each dot in this plot is a single heart rate measurement, with along the horizontal axis the value according to the reference, and on the vertical axis the value according to the OnePlus Watch 2. Now the closer the points are to this blue line, the better the agreement, and the darker black the color, the more dots at the R. And as you can see, this looks okay, I would say. Most points are close to the blue line, but it's also not amazing. There's still quite a few points away from the blue line, and there's even some near this red line. Now this red line means it detected half of the actual heart rate. So there's still a bit of deviation. We can also quantify this agreement with the correlation, which is this R value up here, which is okay at 0.88. The correlation cannot be higher than 1, so 0.88 is okay, I would say. However, we need to look at the individual workouts to see what issues there are. Here we have the first example interval spinning session, where we see a pretty decent agreement between the Watch 2 and the ECG chest strap. Along the horizontal axis we have the clock time, and my heart rate is along the vertical axis, with in blue-green my heart rate according to the Polar H10 ECG reference, and in red my heart rate according to the OnePlus Watch 2. And as I said, for this workout it looks mostly okay. Only here near the end was there one delay in it picking up the increase in my heart rate, but overall not bad for this particular ride. However, many of the other rides showed one or more issues. In this ride, for instance, we can see that during this interval it really struggled. It just wasn't able to pick up on that peak in my heart rate. And also for some of the other intervals there was a slight delay. I would say that about half the sessions showed some issues like that. For instance, this session right here, where again for one of the intervals it really struggled, but the other ones looked okay. And that's also what we see for this session right here, for instance. Here it actually struggled picking up on the dips in my heart rate mostly. But again, not a totally bad performance. And there were also quite a few sessions where I did quite well, like this spinning session right here, for instance, and also this session right here. So definitely not terrible, but it does have some issues. In my experience, this kind of performance is okay, but not amazing. By the way, for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Rob and I'm a postdoctoral scientist specializing in biological data analysis. Now, I wouldn't rule out the OnePlus Watch 2 as an okay fitness tracker based on these results. However, there are definitely better devices out there. And we can actually quantify this by comparing the performance of the OnePlus Watch 2 to all of the other devices I tested in the past. And that overview is displayed right here. Now, the correlation value we were looking at before is the metric we will use for this, which is displayed along the horizontal axis here. And we want that value to be as close to 1 as possible. And on the vertical axis, I ordered the watches from worst to best. So the further to the right and the higher devices, the better is its correlation with the reference device. And here I marked the OnePlus Watch 2 in red, and as you can see, it's somewhere in the middle of all devices. It's not amongst the absolute worst devices out there, so it's really giving some valuable information still, but there's definitely better devices out there. But let's zoom in a bit so we can read the labels of the watches that are close to it. And that slightly zoomed in view is displayed right here. So these are just the watches with a correlation of 0.8 or higher. And as you can see, it's close to, for instance, the Fitbit Sense 2, some Garmin devices, also the Mi Band 6, the Huawei Band 7, and different devices from, for instance, Samsung. So those are the watches it's performing similarly to, but there's also many better devices out there. Now, regular viewers will know Apple Watches are some of the best devices. On Android, Huawei is doing really well, and also the Whoop strap is a really good heart rate tracker. And another good device on Android is, for instance, the Pixel Watch 2. So the OnePlus Watch 2 seems to be doing okay, but it's definitely showing some issues. It sometimes partially misses some of the peaks and the dips in my heart rate when I do interval training, but it's not terrible. There are better options out there though, but I expect that the performance of the OnePlus Watch 2 is still good enough for many people. However, let's make things even more difficult by looking at a much more difficult exercise, running outside. This is more challenging for watches due to the increased bumpiness when running. And here we have a similar overview to before, but now for running. And again, we want the points to be as close to the blue line as possible. Now the correlation seems similar at 0.87, but the deviation is in some ways a bit worse, I would say. So the points are still close to the blue line, but there is quite a bit more deviation right here in the higher heart rate range. Deviation isn't big, but there are clearly quite a few more points away from the blue line than I ideally would like to see. But let's again take a look at the individual runs and see what's going on. And here you can see the first run that I did with again the reference in blue-green and the OnePlus Watch 2 in red. And as you can see in the beginning, it followed along quite okay, I would say. But then at some point it just got the wrong heart rate and it kept detecting the wrong heart rate. So I'm not sure what's going on here. It really struggled during this run. This second run looks a little bit better. It's at least closer to the actual values, though again there's a lot of variation. And I would say that's also more or less what we see during this third run. Again, it's close to the actual values, but it always shows some deviation. And comparing it to other devices, we can see it somewhere amongst the lower to middle end of devices again. It's definitely not terrible, but again, there's better choices out there. And we saw what problems it had based on the individual runs as well. So it really wouldn't be my first choice for running. Some Apple Watches are again doing quite well, but also, for instance, some Garmin devices in the Coral Space 3 aren't bad. When running, the heart rate tracking performance of the OnePlus Watch 2 on me at least seems to be suboptimal. Again, it isn't terrible, but it was consistently deviating from my actual heart rate for much of the run. However, we can challenge the watch even more by testing the performance for cycling outside. Similar to running, it has a problem with bumpiness, but additionally I tend to have quite some tension on my arm, which also degrades the signal even further. So let's have a look at that. However, before showing you those results, I'm hoping that my diligent testing has earned a subscribe from you and also really helps me get access to devices sooner from manufacturers if you leave a like or a comment. But enough self-promotion, let's take a look at the performance of the OnePlus Watch 2 for outdoor cycling. And again, a similar overview to before, but now for cycling outside. And as you can see, most points are again close to or on the blue line, but there's also quite a bit more deviation now. The clouds of points are stretching out quite a bit further from the blue line, indicating that there's more deviation than we saw before. We can also see that based on the correlation, which is now 0.7, which is quite a bit lower than the 0.8788 than we had before. And the individual rides really help us understand why we got these results, like you can see right here. So in red again is the OnePlus Watch 2, and as you can see, it's always close to the actual heart rate, though it's never really precise, so there's quite a bit of deviation. And that's also what we see for this ride right here, for instance. In the beginning it was really off, later on it's a bit better, so it's not absolutely terrible, though it does struggle quite a bit. And that's honestly what we see for many of the rides, that it's quite close for part of the ride, and then for part of the ride it struggles. So I'm not sure what's going on here. There's definitely worse devices out there. And again, you're familiar with this type of overview by now, but now this is for biking outside. And in this case, the OnePlus Watch 2 in red right here is really dead smack in the middle of most devices. About half of them are worse and about half of them are better. And it's close to quite a few interesting devices. Especially many Garmin devices are close to a similar performance. But also, for instance, the Amazfit Balance is quite close. And I can imagine that quite a few people see that as an alternative to the OnePlus Watch 2. And if you want a cheaper device that is still quite good, again, many Huawei devices are doing quite well, and especially the Huawei Bands and Huawei Watch Fits are doing quite good for their price. So this definitely reinforces my impression of the OnePlus Watch 2. It's somewhere in the middle of the pack. It's not terrible, but also not amazing. But let's now take a look at one of the hardest exercises for a watch to track: weightlifting. Now, weightlifting is so difficult because there's so much tension on your arm. And as you can see, the OnePlus Watch 2 really struggled. In the lower heart rate range, it seems to be okay-ish, though there's already quite a few points below the blue line. But especially here in the higher heart rate range, all points are below the blue line, initially indicating to me that each time I did a set, my heart rate increased and the OnePlus Watch 2 wasn't able to pick up on this. And also the correlation is quite low now at 0.53. But let's take a look at the individual sessions to see what's really going on. And looking at the individual weightlifting sessions, we can really see that my suspicions are confirmed. In blue-green, you can see the peaks in my heart rate for each of the sets that I did. And the red line of the OnePlus Watch 2 really doesn't follow along well. You can see that for this session right here, but also this session right here. And the same is basically true for all sessions. It just isn't able to pick up on the peaks in my heart rate. And again, a similar overview to before, with again the OnePlus Watch 2 marked in red. And in this case, it's really one of the poorer performing watches. Most devices are doing better than the OnePlus Watch 2. though in general I wouldn't recommend any device that has a correlation between 0.9 or higher for weightlifting. So if you're interested in weightlifting, you're probably best off buying an ECG chest strap, and if not, these are the only devices here that I would recommend. Especially Apple Watches are doing quite well, but potentially the Huawei Watch Fit, Pixel Watch 2 and also some Huawei bands might be good enough. Though based on my experience, these are all really edge cases, and if you really want accurate heart rate tracking, again, an ECG chest strap is the best way to go. So overall, the OnePlus Watch 2 isn't really able to compete with the top performers, at least not in my testing. However, it's also not terrible, and there are definitely worse choices out there. Overall, I'd give the heart rate tracking performance probably 3 out of 5 stars. But maybe the watch shines in some other categories, and let's next test the sleep stage tracking performance. Now, like most watches out there, the OnePlus Watch 2 tracks 4 sleep stages, that being deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, and awake. And here I show the test results when I compare it to an EEG headband that can actually measure my brain waves, and in total I tested it for 5 nights. On top are the sleep stages as recorded by the Z-Max EEG device, and on the left are the sleep stages as recorded by the Watch 2. Now each column here sums to 100%, meaning that we can see what percentage of each of the sleep stages according to the Z-Max was predicted as the sleep stage by the OnePlus Watch 2. And if they perfectly agree, all values on the diagonal should be 100%. Now the Z-Max is also not the perfect reference, but I believe it's good enough to give us a general impression of the performance of the OnePlus Watch 2. Now, first of all, we see that 52% of what was deep sleep according to the Z-Max was also predicted as deep sleep by the OnePlus Watch 2, which is okay, and most confusion in this case was with light sleep at about 34%. Light sleep agreement was a bit better at about 63%, and most confusion was in this case with REM sleep at about 23%. Now, REM sleep agreement is by far the worst. Only 44% of what the Z-Max said was REM sleep was also detected as REM sleep by the OnePlus Watch 2. More of it was actually predicted as being a light sleep instead at 47%, so that's not looking very good. Now, we're not going to dive into awake time because the Z-Max detects way too many of these short awakenings that are probably not interesting for us. But just for completeness, about 35% of what the Z-Max says was awake time was also detected as awake time by the OnePlus Watch 2. But let's take a look at the individual nights because here we can really see what's going on. And here we have the first night I wanted to share with you. On top we have the sleep stages according to the Z-Max EEG headband, with along the horizontal axis the clock time and my sleep stages on the vertical axis. And on the bottom we have a similar plot, but now for the OnePlus Watch 2. Now here in purple I highlighted the deep sleep as recorded by the Z-Max EEG headband, which marginally agrees with the OnePlus Watch 2. As you can see, the first 2 segments agree rather well, and the final segment agrees okay-ish, it's a bit shifted, and there's some extra deep sleep being detected as well, so for this night it looks okay-ish. And for this second night right here, we mostly see something similar. There's some okay overlap here in the beginning, but again some extra deep sleep is detected, and later on it doesn't detect all the deep sleep right here, and this is also only marginally overlapping right here. So not the worst and not the best. And if instead we look at REM sleep, so the REM sleep detected by the EEG device is marked in red right here, we see even worse agreement. So here on the bottom for this night you can see that there's really a lot of extra REM sleep detected by the OnePlus Watch 2, and also not all the REM sleep that was detected by the EEG device is detected by the OnePlus Watch 2, so not looking that great. And that's also what we see for this night right here. There's some overlap, for instance right here, but then again right here some extra REM sleep is detected. And in general, not all REM sleep overlaps that well. And as I said, I don't want to focus on the awake moments because the Z-Max tends to detect many of these short awakenings that are not interesting for us. But I did want to see if the longer awake moments overlap. So we see some long awake moments at the end of the night right here. And these match reasonably well with the OnePlus Watch 2. And the same is true for this awake moment here in the middle of the night. And for this second night, we see more or less the same thing. Again, the longer awake moments match quite well between the EEG device and the OnePlus Watch 2. So the sleep stage tracking performance of the OnePlus Watch 2 is mediocre at best, I would say. Again, it's somewhat similar to the heart rate tracking. It's not absolutely amazing, but also not at the absolute bottom. But let's put these results into perspective. Before doing that, I'm planning to start back up with my newsletter after the summer to share my first results with you sooner. If you're interested, check out the link up here. And that's exactly what we can see right here. So this graph shows you an overview of the agreement of different watches with different reference devices. Along the horizontal axis, we have the average agreement over the individual sleep stages, and on the vertical axis, we have the agreement of the worst sleep stage. Now, the better the agreement, the more to the top right the device is. And I have to say this overview is slightly complicated because I used 3 different reference devices. Devices not marked in any color were tested against the Dream 2 EEG headband, but this is no longer available. The devices marked in green were tested against the ZMAX EEG headband, so the one used in this video. And the devices marked in blue-purple were tested against polysomnography, which is the gold standard in sleep stage tracking. And right here you can see the OnePlus Watch 2 marked in green. And as you can see, it's again a mediocre performing watch. It's definitely not as bad as some devices. So for instance, some Huawei devices and especially Mi Bands are doing quite a bit worse. But it's definitely not doing as good as, for instance, Apple Watches, which are some of the top performers. Also, the Oura Ring does really well in general. And the same goes for the H-Sleep Pod. And in the second tier, as regular viewers will know, we have Fitbit devices and the Whoop strap. And I would say the OnePlus Watch 2 is somewhere in the third tier of watches, together with, for instance, Garmin devices, at least based on this initial testing. And in the fourth tier would be, for instance, these Mi Bands. So again, the OnePlus Watch 2 is not the absolute worst, but there are just better devices available. So it's really up to you to decide, is sleep stage tracking really important to you? Or is it most important for you to just know your total time in bed or maybe your total sleep time? And with this, you can already make very important decisions. So also when objectively comparing the OnePlus Watch 2 to many of the other devices out there, it ends up somewhere in the middle of the pack and probably even in the lower end in this case. I would personally only use to track my total time in bed, which is the most basic type of measurement, but quite an important metric to track. If I'd had to score the performance, I'd give the OnePlus Watch 2 somewhere between 2.5 and 3 out of 5 stars for sleep stage tracking. But what about GPS tracking? Is this any good? OnePlus advertises that it should be able to compete with well-known sport watches out there. Let's have a look. Now, to test the GPS tracking performance, I cycled the same route multiple times going to and from work. And if the signals overlap very well, that means that the GPS tracking is at least very consistent. But if the signals vary a lot, the OnePlus Watch 2 is probably not a very good GPS tracker. Now, just as background, I kept all the settings to the defaults because I wasn't really sure where and what I could change, but this is likely what most people will use. And here we see the results for 6 times I cycled to work, where each green mark here is the moment that the watch connected the GPS signal. Now, I always started the right on the corner right here, so the GPS was connected very quickly, that's good, and also relatively accurately. So overall, that's a good start. But let's next look at how well the signals actually overlap. So let's zoom out a bit. And if we zoom out, we can see that there's quite a bit of deviation between the signals. The signals are deviating quite a bit from the road as well, so many are going through buildings. And if you go along the route, we see it's not very good. It's not terrible. There's definitely worse performing watches out there, but there is quite a bit of variation. We've seen much better performance, especially from, for instance, Garmin watches. So this is not terrible, but also not great. And for instance, right here, one of the signals deviates a lot all of a sudden. So I'm not sure what's going on here. And in general, we can see there's quite a bit of deviation here until my right's end. So overall, not looking amazing, but also not terrible. But let's also take a look at the ride back from work. Now, these are the results for 5 times I cycled back from work. And again, the green markers are very close to the position where I started the ride, and it really connected the GPS signal quite quickly. So that's good. But again, let's look at the consistency between the signals. So if we zoom out a bit, we see there's quite a bit of deviation between the signals. Again, this isn't the worst I've ever seen. So for instance, right here, there's a good segment, but overall there's quite a bit of deviation, and especially right here, it just doesn't look very good. This really looked quite bad, honestly. And if we then go along the route, we can see there's quite a bit of variation. Overall, just quite a bit of noise in the signal. It seems to be all over the place. It's not terrible. Again, here it seems to be okay-ish, I would say. But then again, right here, we have quite a bit of deviation and not a very consistent signal. So it's somewhere in the medium to slightly lower performing watches in terms of GPS. So it really again depends on what you're looking for. If you just want okay GPS, you want to know your rough route that you ran or cycled, then I guess it's okay. But if you want precision, this doesn't appear to give you that. So in moments, GPS tracking was somewhat consistent, but I generally found it to be quite noisy, and it also showed a few weird artifacts. Again, it's not the absolute worst out there, but it also doesn't really compete with the big boys. Therefore, also for the GPS tracking, I'd give the OnePlus Watch 2 2.5 to maybe 3 out of 5 stars. So who's the OnePlus Watch 2 actually for? Well, if you like the design, spec-wise it has quite a few things going for it, at least given the price, and the battery life is also pretty good. If the health and fitness features aren't your focus, but you still want some insights, it might just be good enough. If you do decide to get a OnePlus Watch 2, a Whoop strap, an Aura ring, an HD Pod 4, another device, or anything at all on Amazon for that matter, even something as small as toilet paper, want to potentially save some money and at the same time support the channel, there are different affiliate and non-affiliate links in the description below. They do not cost you any extra and some even provide a discount. Now, given that you watched this entire video on the OnePlus Watch 2, check out this video on the new Huawei Watch Fit 3 or this video on my top recommendations for sleep tracking. Thank you so much for watching and catch you in the next video.